All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. Appreciate this. Give me 2 more seconds to handle one more thing. I just noticed something. That should be a lot better. All right, 5 by 5. Thank you, guys. You see that? That shit was like night and day. Holy shit. All right, guys. And that was the webcam off the expensive Apple machine here. You spend all that money for an Apple computer, and they can't even give you 1080, which they say is 1080, but it's low grain 1080. But anyway, 12 times off. Yeah, thank you. Way better. All right, guys. So, name of the game today is heat wave, droughts, and birds. Now, a lot of you asking, why the fuck are you talking about birds? Well, I'm talking about birds because a couple of them, not a couple, but a few thousand, tens of thousands of them have been falling out of the skies and dying for unknown reasons. We will get into that later tonight. So, let's start out with last night's debacle of a night at the Washington Square Park on the Angry Truth channel. So on the Angry Truth channel, for those of you that missed it, I went down to Washington Square Park again. I guess it was like the Pride Night after party, or whatever the fuck it was. Some people are saying 5Gs. I don't think it's 5Gs, guys, because none of the birds here in the in New York City are falling out of the skies. They seem to be in areas where they don't have 5Gs. But I don't know if that's 100% true, but I know here we don't have a problem with birds. Virus, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. So, last night's clusterfuck was, if for those of you that watched it on the Angry Truth channel at Washington Square Park last night, that was live, by the way, you saw the bullshit. Right now, it wasn't mayhem and it wasn't looting and rioting like we saw last year, but it was still a clusterfuck nonetheless. As soon as I turned the camera off, guys, as soon as I turned the camera off, the people, if you will, attacked the hot dog stand that was at the entrance that I entered at the beginning of my live stream. So they wanted hot dogs for free. The guy said no. They said, come on. He said no, and fucking melee ensued. They attacked his stand. He went to fight one guy, and then they attacked his hot dog stand and destroyed it. So they had to bring the cops in with riot gear to break it up, and they locked up 8 people in the process. As I come back over from the other side of the park, it was done. And I was like, motherfucker. You know, like, it was probably the not the height, it was the height of the night, because nothing else happened after that. And then there was some shoving, and there was an argument with cops with some bunch of assholes because the cops are trying to back their van under the arch. So as they're opening up the gates, the van's trying to come in, and this one kid wouldn't move out of the way. He was trying to play like he didn't see it. So the cop rolls over to him. Yo, excuse me, and he's like, "Oh, don't touch me." He's like, "Well, we're trying to get you out of the way of the van." "Well, I didn't see it there." And then you knew he saw it there. He was being a fucking asshole. Anyway, the shoving and shit started. They were throwing water at the cops. And I don't know, like, guys, I'm telling you, 5 years ago, you threw water or anything at the cops, you were getting your ass handed to you. Anyway, the cops did shit. The kids were pushing the gates. The cops were pushing the gates back. And it was just a shoving match with gates. Now, I get into an argument. So everything's said and done, guys. Again, I put the fucking camera away. I'm like, all right, guys, good night, yada, yada. Done. All of this bullshit breaks out within a half hour time. Maybe 15 minutes. Maybe 15, 20 minutes time. All this shit starts going down. I get into an argument with some asshole from a group called Cop Watch. Yes, guys, that is the name. Cop Watch. They watch the cops. So I start ripping into this guy. You know, I'm like, listen, man. I said, you're recording this whole thing? He's like, no, I'm just recording the cops. I'm like, you're not recording the kids that are pushing the gates and being antagonistic? He's like, I don't have to. The cops have their body cam. I said, yeah, but you want to capture the whole picture so that you're being fair. No? He's like, well, I'm here for the cops. I'm like, you a piece of shit. So right then and there, it went from 0 to 100, and I started fucking tearing into him. So now he's like, oh, well, you know, the cops have their body cam. Why isn't it on? I said, because look what's going on. I said, they got this shit jumping off at the last minute. They didn't have it on. I said, some of them do. Look. And he's like, well, not they all should have them on. I'm like, it's not how it fucking works. As long as some of them have it on, that's what's good. I said, you're recording, they're recording, and then behind them, they had a fucking NYPD like camera set up on light poles. And those cameras I heard were fucking few $1 million because it's facial recognition, 4K, all of it. So anyway, now I'm like, I said, you're worried about these cops. And I said, how many cops killed a black man this week? I said, you know what? How many NYPD cops killed a guy this year? Unarmed. Oh, how about last year? He's like, I said, but you know how many fucking kids were killed in the last 2 months? And you're worried about these fucking cops? I said, you bag of shit, you fucking monkey. I mean, go. I went to fucking war on him. And he's like, well, what? He's like, I'm just recording the cops. I said, but you're being a fucking scumbag about it. You should be recording the whole situation if you're going to be fair. But you're not being fair. You're being a piece of shit. And then he's sitting there going, well, you know, these cops are pieces of shit. They think what Fallope did was right. I said, there's no fucking cops that think what Fallope did was right. He's like, I got a cop on record saying that. He was antagonizing you, stupid. There's no cop on the job that thinks what Justin Fallope did was right. And he's like, well, you cops. And I'm like, I'm not a cop, dickface. I said, I'm not a cop. He's like, well, you're pro cop. I said, and what's the fucking problem with being pro cop, you piece of shit? And he was like, well, you guys are always. I said, listen, now you're starting to stammer and you're sounding like a bitch. I said, do yourself a favor and fucking walk away from me and go on the other side of that fucking gate before this turns into a fucking, not cop watch, but a Jason watch. And he's like, you're threatening me? I said, you call it what the fuck it is, dude. But it's going to happen. So get the fuck away from me. And he's like, fuck you. I said, listen, man, I'm right here. I said, yo, we got this. I said, the cops on that side of the gate, they're not going to jump in this shit. What do you want to do? He's like, you think I'm weak? I said, dude, you're fat and weak and you're fucking old and I'll break your hip. And he's like, oh, you're profiling me. He went into the profiling shit and that got him angry. That's where he drew the line because I profiled him. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this guy, in my head, I'm like, this guy's mad because I profiled him? And not all the other shit that I said about him, but I profiled him. All right, anyway, guys, so with that being said, he's like, you know what, and he started like, it sounded like he was screaming because his voice went high-pitched, and I'm like, oh, and he fucking walked away. I'm just recording the cops as he walked away. I'm like, all right, man, sorry, ma'am. Like it was fucking, and he just pissed me off with his whole fucking bullshit. So, I wish I would have had that on video, but it didn't go down that way because, like I said, as soon as I ended the shit, all of that shit broke out. And hey, Bajon, Bajon, how you doing, man? Thank you for joining us. So, and then there were kids, and I say kids loosely because they were like, doing something. These chicks were standing on top of the ice cream truck that was now in place of where the hot dog truck was. These chicks are on top of the truck, guys. It's a box truck, pretty much. And they're on top of the box truck twerking. And I'm like, what the fuck? And they're carrying on and fucking, doing their fucking twerking shit. I'm like, I hope the fucking truck, the ice cream guy gets in the truck and hits the gas and they all fall off. But he didn't do that. The cops came over. They told the chicks to get off. They got off and then he drove away. Virus with a cause. Thank you for the donation. And Greg Bryson, thank you. Thank you for the donation. I apologize for that. All right. So, and with that, too, the other reason why I left after all of that shit was said and done, I speak to a cop, and I'm like, so what time you guys kicking him out of the park? He just shakes his head. I go, really? You going to let them stay here all night? He goes, Saturday night. He says, they were here till 4 o'clock in the morning. He goes, we're told not to do anything. So if they're going to be here till 4 or 5 in the morning, that's what it is. I was like, what? So now all of these people in that neighborhood, which, again, I told you before, they probably had it coming to them because it was the same assholes that voted for de Blasio and defund the police. They had to deal with that noise all night long. They had to deal with fireworks going off all night long. They had to deal with yelling and screaming and loud music all night long. So, such is life. And when a cop told me that, I bounced. So, Miss Janet, if you do... All right, guys. I'm not going to get into this again. If you do not know what twerking is, Google it. I'm 1,000% sure you Google twerking, you will see 1,000 videos pop up on it. So, just do me that favor if you really want to know. If you don't want to know, then don't look it up. And I suggest you don't look it up because you got to look for it for yourself. Kryptonian, you're right. Yes, the gays get all the passes. They 100% do. The shit they get away with is in fucking insane. Anybody else's fucking parade is shorter. Anybody else's first of all the other parades weren't able to have a parade. They had to do it virtually. Why was the LGBT community this year able to get a fucking parade? Now I thought it was going to be virtual, but then I go on Citizen app and boom, there they are marching down the street in all their gayness. I'm like, what the fuck? So they get a pass for everything. So and it's unfair, and I do not know why other people are not calling it out. But it is what it is. Yeah, like Bajoran said, you don't want to know. For some of you don't want to know. Listen, I'm not going to get into the whole twerking thing. That's a discussion for like a campfire. But it's, again, if you want to... yes, Scion Wrath. First of all, how you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while. And yeah, twerking is not dancing, but it's something what strippers do. But now strippers are not doing it anymore. Everybody's doing it. So, like, they were grown-ass men trying to do it. That's how disgusting it was. Wolf Mule, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. So, all of that happened, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? As soon as I put my camera away, and then the cop told me what he told me, I'm like, fuck that, I'm out of here. Because they're going to stay here, and the cops are going to do nothing, and this is the lawlessness that the city wants. Now, granted, yes, it was just partying and celebrating, but guys, to a degree, anytime you celebrate, anytime you party, there should be some kind of fucking respect. Some kind of respect. Like around 10, 11 o'clock, you call it quits, or you turn the music down and you bounce. Or you turn the music down and you stay there. But the shit that was going on there, I mean, just the outright drug dealing, the fireworks, fucking 20 feet away from cops. Not 20 feet, more like probably 20, 30 yards away from the cops. All of that shit going on, that's the lawlessness. Not the hanging out, not the shit you saw. I couldn't catch anyone fucking dealing. But again, as soon as I put my fucking camera away, there was a guy with a little satchel selling, I'm pretty sure he said meth. He said it twice, and I'm like, who the fuck is taking that shit here? Meth is like, a fucking out west kind of shit. And maybe even a little bit down south, and some spots upstate New York do meth. But I was like, get the fuck out of here. This guy was outwardly selling fucking meth. And he was yelling it out. He wasn't like, yo, meth here, meth, meth, meth. He was like, yo, meth. I got some meth. And then he said like 3 other things, weed and something else. I was like, what? Lawlessness, guys. Again, and some people are going to argue, oh, well, you know what? They were being young and rebellious. There's being young and rebellious, and there's being a fucking asshole. And these kids are young and rebellious. Rebellious against what? They have everything that they want. They're getting everything that they want. The gay community has nothing to complain about anymore. Nothing. So what were they sitting there being rebellious about? Somebody can explain that to me, please. There was a lady on here last night on the Angry Truth channel. I think it's Mama Prepping or Prepping Mama, something like that. She was like, you're there beating up on the gays. I'm like, first of all, I'm not physically beating up on anybody. And I wasn't beating up on the gays. I was beating on the assholes who were there being disrespectful. If it happened to be gays, so be it. If it happened to be straight dudes and fucking straight chicks, so be it. It was everyone who was there who was adding to the bullshit. That's who I was beating up on. I wasn't beating on one group of people. But if you think so, whatever, man. Yeah, Kryptonian, you're right. But look, guys, like I said, people. There are people, obviously in the prepper community that know somebody, and they're like, oh my. As soon as you say anything against the LGBT community, people lose their fucking minds. They're like, you're so homophobic. You're transphobic too. You know what? You're a fucking asshole. All right, I'll take the asshole part. The transphobic and the homophobic thing, whatever. You can sleep on it. I can care less. I don't care what you call me. It don't bother me. But if you want to correct the problem, you got to call groups of people out. You can't be scared to call groups of people out in fear of being called a racist or homophobic or transphobic or Asian phobic. I don't know if that's even a thing, right? Alexandria the Great, thank you for joining the club. Appreciate it. By the way, guys, I have a video coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday for the members only club. It's like a conspiracy theory kind of video. I'm also going to do another UFO video later in the week or next week for the members only club. Again, that's conspiracy theory shit. So that's why it's on there for the members only, because I love conspiracy theories and I like to throw ideas out there. That's all. So, if you guys have ideas as far as conspiracy theories goes, and I know that the Kryptonian, he has plenty of shit. Now, you guys remember he was breaking my fucking nuts last week, but me and him have been on a civil path, going back and forth, and he's been exchanging emails with me with stuff that he's been showing me, if you will. And some of the shit he showed me, guys, it's spot on, because a lot of this stuff I knew when I was younger, and it's even interesting that he's showing me what he's showing me, and he's actually teaching me some new shit, or putting me on the new shit rather. So it's pretty good. It's good with the stuff he's showing me, and the stuff he's showing me is not far off. It's not some crazy shit, you know. So again, for those who want to join the membership for the Angry Truth channel and the Angry Prepper channel, this is where you're going to get your conspiracy theories, where they're just that, guys. They're just theories. I don't believe in a lot of this shit, but I also think it should be a discussion, if that makes sense. Rich Mountains, you're probably right. The entire planet is a conspiracy. Bjorn, that's a good one, actually. That's a very good good comment. He says the gays were dancing around the hot dog stand. Sounds like some kind of worshiping to me. Very good. That was a good connection there, man. So anyway, guys. So let's get into the show. Now, we are all, well, not all of us, sorry. Let me walk that back. A lot of us are experiencing this fucking heat wave that's hitting us. The heat wave right now, guys, in the northwestern section of the United States is something that those people have not seen in a very, very long time. If I'm not mistaken, it's been over 12 years, right? And they think that there's worse to come. Now, a lot of these places are hitting triple digits. I read it earlier. I think that it was, I want to say Oregon maybe, or Washington, one of those two states, hit 112, right? 112 degrees. That was Oregon. Hit 112 degrees. Now, guys, no one's died yet. And I say yet because it's only been, I think, a week now, right? Or just about a week that they've been having this heat wave. It's been over 90 for, and anything over 90 for, I think, 3 to 4 days, or over 3 to 4 days, is considered a heat wave. So they've been going for about a week now. And I think one of the places, I can't remember, topped out at 122. Keep in mind, guys, this is the Northwest. They don't see this kind of shit. This shit is new to them. This kind of heat is new to them. So they're all fucking like, what the fuck, man? You know? Jeff Kosis, sorry about that. Yeah, a lot of people are saying they're not getting notifications. I'm not even getting notifications, and I'm fucking subscribed to myself on another channel. So, from another channel, sorry. So, I apologize for that. Well, right, 94, guys, is not bad. But somebody, GG in Washington, said it's 108. Ugh. And again, right now it's not a problem, but if it goes beyond that, then it becomes a problem, right? And if they start seeing droughts on top of that, which some places are seeing droughts, but if they start seeing droughts on top of this heat wave, we're going to have, I guess, one hell of a bad combination of food shortage, and in some places, guys, you're going to see water shortage, because there's a drought starting, or has been going on for the last couple of weeks, and it's the water that was coming down off the Rocky Mountains into the Colorado River is not doing what it used to do. It's not producing the amount of water it used to do. So that's starting the drought right there. And a lot of people use that water as drinking water. Pat and Robin, thank you for the donation. All right. So, again, guys, the heat wave, there's not much you can do about a heat wave other than grin and bear it and pray that your electricity doesn't go out. A lot of you probably have central air. God bless you if you do. We don't. Right now, I'm fucking baking in this fucking room. I had to turn the fan off because I don't want it to, affect the mic. So I'm pretty much dealing with it here. But if it was 109 degrees, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not fucking sitting in front of anybody's camera talking to them. Fires for the cause. Thank you for the donation again, man. Appreciate it. Right? So, Eric, yeah, today is a good day to die. Listen, every day is a good day to die, if you want to look at it that way. A bad day to die is like if your favorite TV show's on. You're like, I don't want to die today. I want to watch Alone. And then after that, fuck it, you know. But yeah, guys, this whole heat wave drought shit is bad. And the crazy shit is the drought. You're not hearing a lot about. You're not hearing much about the drought. What you're hearing is, the heat wave, but I don't understand why we're not talking about the drought. The drought is turning into a major fucking issue right now. I'm gonna do a video on the drought. Probably what's today? Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Next week you probably won't. You'll probably see one or two videos next week because I'll be away. I'll be in Wildwood, New Jersey. I will do a live stream in Wildwood, New Jersey, but you won't see any videos from there. So, someone said 107 in Cottage Lake, Washington. We have an AC and a fan. Gave away a portable AC and loaned 2 fans. Wow. Nice job, Chase Mark. Mark Chase, sorry. A presidential tier list. Bacon, you got a presidential tier list. I guess. And thank you for saying enjoying Wildwood, Lisa. Yeah, listen, Wildwood, it's a annual thing. My daughter's birthday is July 4th, right? So, birthday's July 4th. We go out there for a week, and then, they got the fireworks and shit going on, and she likes going out there, so it is what it is. So, now, if you're not privy to what's going on with the heat wave, they're expecting the worst to come, I think, this week, right, in that area. So for those of you that live in the northwest section of the United States, you're going to have to be super careful with your electricity. You're probably going to have to let your neighbors know, or maybe the governor of each state's going to have to let people know, don't turn up your AC all the way, or whatever you can max it out at. Don't max it out, or don't lower it all the way, sorry, because you're going to be drawing more power. And the more power you draw in a heat wave turns into a bad thing. So you guys are going to have to be very, very careful as to what you do and how you do it. Because you do not want a power outage in a heat wave, guys. It fucking sucks. And a lot of you experience that. And some of you who haven't, it blows, man. There's no other way to look at it. You could fan yourself till you're blue in the face. It's horrible in a heat wave. James, I'll be stopping by at Prepper Nurse One's gathering. I think it's a day now, right? Yeah, he had an issue happen with the permits for the place that he was going to use. They couldn't get the permits, so now it's a 1 day thing. I'm gonna turn out because I'll be up in that. Not I won't be in the area, but I'll be going to oh God, I'll be going to a first day wilderness course, a Hudson Valley prepping and survival. So I'll be doing that week, and when I'm done, I'm heading over to Prepper Nurses One, weekend gathering, and then I guess back home. Oh, if it's a 2 day thing, then I'll be there on the second day then, right? Or no, the way he has it now, I should be able to get there on the first day, but I'll get there late. I'll probably get there around 5-6 o'clock at night. That's the idea, right? So hopefully a lot of you guys turn out to it. All right, guys. So now, again, solar generators are going to be important in this case, guys. With a heat wave and the possibility of power loss. There's always a possibility of power loss. Plus, guys, you got to keep in mind the heat wave is the entire northwest region of the United States. They're talking about something called a heat wave dome or a heat dome, right? And this is in all of the states. Listen, guys, some of these states have never experienced this kind of heat, and now they are. So they're probably going to run into problems probably this week, I would say, since it's been going on for so long. Again, this is something that you guys have to take a look at. So now, hold on. I'm looking at something, and this is what they're predicting for the week. Let's see. So Seattle is looking at 102, Portland 108, Eugene, Oregon 105, Medford, I think is California, if I'm wrong, sorry, 112, Spokane, Washington 101, Pendleton, I think it's Pendleton in Washington, it's 107, and then somebody's ass in Idaho is, I think, 108 or some shit like that, right? So again, that's pretty high, guys. That's super high for there. It's going to affect some of the animals. I know that because a lot of those animals are not used to that as well. So we will again see where this goes. Now they did have a heat wave back around in '09. There was a heat wave back then. I think it broke 100 degrees. The top or the high for that area was 103. They're going above that. So every degree after what 75, you feel it, right? And every degree below 75, you feel, right? Like 75 degrees, is like the perfect weather, and then everything after that, above or below, you start feeling it. So keep that in mind. If you guys live in that region, be very, very careful. Make sure you have a lot of fucking water on deck. Make sure you have your solar generators and your generators up to par. Make sure they're squared away because you could lose power. Usually in high heat situations with everybody using all of their shit, fans, ACs, central air, you could run into that problem. It's a possibility, so you should be prepared. All right, next subject, since we are at the 29-minute mark. Give me 2 seconds because I got to get to my notes. We're supposed to do heat wave first, but so reach my goal in a couple minutes. The Southwest now is seeing heavy drought. They're seeing bad droughts right now. The United States has been experiencing unprecedented drought, and the misery intense, as they say, which is something they hadn't seen in 20 years. And it's probably been longer than that, actually. It's probably been longer than 20 years. But they say 20 years because that's when they initiated the drought monitor, the U.S. drought monitor, right? So I guess it started 20 years ago. And there might have been worse droughts than that, but it's being reported now as possibly the worst drought on the Southwest history, right? So they're not trying to scare people because they're not talking about this that much. I mean, the heat wave in the Northwest, they're talking about a lot. But the drought, they're barely talking about, which I don't understand why they're not. Right? That's to me, that's insane. Where is it? All right, fuck it, whatever. So the drought is going to present a few problems for the southwestern states, guys. It's going to create. Sorry. I need a like a stand or something to hold to hold my notes. Rich Mountains, man, thank you for the donation. Thank you for that, Rich Mountains. Actually, thank you for the donation. But he also said, guys, for the elderly that live in those that heat wave states, the heat wave states, if you have elderly and you know them, check on them from time to time. Heat wave, guys, absolutely affect old people. Old people actually, they get really sick from it, and they're a lot of old people are usually dehydrated, I guess, by nature. Not sure why, but I've always heard that. So heat wave can definitely affect them. So do yourself a favor and just check in on them. That's it. Old man fucking Rivers, check on old man Rivers, right? So Ghetto Prepper says, you realize all the tech we have to create water. Come on, man. This is him. He goes, they're dumping fresh water into the ocean for a reason. I did hear about the fresh water dumping a while back, but I couldn't find anything on it. So if you got something on it, by all means, send it to me. Send it my way, and I'll research it. Research it a little more. But I heard about that, and I couldn't find anything on it. If I'm not mistaken, I heard about it, and I know Ice Age talked about it. Ice Age usually has information on it. Ice Age Farmer, that is. Sorry. Now, according to strangesound.org, this is the worst drought in the Southwest in 1,200 years. That's according to them. But then again, guys, when I was on that website, because that was like one of the only websites I could find a drought on, they made it sound like like the earth was soaking in the fresh water and the fucking aliens were coming. It was weird. It was weird. So we gotta keep in mind where we get our information from. This is going to have a devastating effect on the farming industry. The farming industry is going to feel this, and the agricultural industry is going to feel this, guys. They, like I said, the drought started when they were measuring it early this year, or actually early last year, with the Colorado River. This year, in the Colorado River, they saw that it was super low because the ice caps weren't producing enough water. So with that, guys, this is we're definitely going to see a shortage of certain fruits and vegetables, probably later this year, if not during the summer. But again, we have to wait and see. Yeah, Johnny, you get your hydration from fruits and vegetables, but again, I just said we're going to have a problem with fruits and vegetables. Hot stuff. Thank you for the donation, and Denise, thank you for the donation. Right, guys? So you have to you should stay abreast of what's going on with this kind of stuff. Now, how do you prepare for these kind of shortages? Well, again, with fruits and vegetables, unless you are going to freeze dry it or dehydrate them, that's the only way you're going to have fruits and vegetables later. But I hate dehydrated fruits. It really doesn't taste like anything, but whatever. But that's the only way. Or you grow your own stuff on your land. So if you got enough room to have a garden, you can grow some of these fruits and vegetables on your land. That's one way of going about it. But if there's a drought, you're going to have to figure out a water system for your gardening system, because they're not. If your neighbor is a nosy asshole and you're watering your garden, they'll report you. But if you have your own water system because you've been collecting it from the rain or getting it delivered to you, then it shouldn't be a problem. So you're going to have to keep that in mind. There's a lot of adapting we're probably going to have to do in the next, I don't know, couple of months, because everything that's been happening lately, guys, is just insane. And again, a lot of the stuff that's happening is the distraction. I talked about this in one of my last streams. Distraction's what they're trying to get us with right now, guys. They're trying to sit here and, first of all, divide us. That's one. Two, distracting us with all the bullshit. Every last piece of bullshit that's coming out right now is a distraction. If we can't do anything about it, it's a distraction. All right? They're telling us that the Delta Plus virus is going to dominate America. It just fucking popped up in India a week or two ago. Now all of a sudden it's going to dominate the United States by the fall. Now when you hear them say this, guys, you know where this is going. Like I said in my last live stream, this is where they're trying to head for the next lockdown. They're writing the narrative, or the story rather, out so that the next lockdown is right around the corner. You can't sit there and tell me that a virus that just started all of a sudden is making its way to the United States just like that. And yeah, someone said it's another far distraction. Yes, it is. And here's the kick in the dick with that distraction, guys, with the Delta virus, if you will, or the India virus. It's that if you are that concerned about a virus coming to the United States and getting more people sick and dying, if you are truly that worried about it, you will shut all flights coming in from every country outside of the United States. Period. That's how you tackle it if you are that worried about it. If you're that scared. You mean to tell me you're going to let more planes fly into JFK from all over the world? You're going to let these planes come in, and then you're going to turn around and go, whoa, the Delta Plus virus is here. We're going to have to lock down the entire country. Well, if you lock the rest of the world out of the United States, you wouldn't have that problem. But then, why would they do that? Why would they shut down these airlines? Why would they keep us from getting sick? They don't want that. They want the virus in here. Or they want the excuse of the virus by saying, oh, it came from one of these travelers from those countries over there, and they brought it here. When you could have stopped it on the first day you heard about the Delta Plus virus and the Delta variant, or the India variant and the India variant plus. Sorry. You heard about those two variants. You should have been like, you know what? We're not taking flights from this country, that country, and this country. The first country that reports that they have the India Plus virus in their country, you stop taking planes from that country. You stop taking people from connecting flights that are coming to this country. That's how you stop the virus. But again, total distraction, like Mary just said. Sounds like bullshit to me. Sounds like another reason for them to use the lockdown later down the line. Again, guys, it's all bullshit. And the more the more we see this shit, guys, You can't tell us we're wrong. And you want to know how wrong we are not? When you start hitting the nail on the head, that's when YouTube starts fucking with your channel. They start demonetizing you. They start deleting your videos. They start giving you a strike. They start saying, oh, well, that's inaccurate. If they were wholeheartedly interested in medical misinformation and giving people like myself a strike, and Angryprepper, who got a strike for something different, actually. I think, what's his name? Pinball Preparedness. I think he got a strike. I'm not sure. And a couple other guys got strikes for talking about the coronavirus. If they were that interested in medical misinformation, all of Fauci's videos on YouTube should be kicked off the web. But that tells you right there, guys, that they're all full of shit. That Wachowski bullshit bitch that runs YouTube, you think she sit there and she goes, oh, medical misinformation, we're going to have to kick these people off. Well, you better start with Fauci, because that motherfucker lied in the first part of the pandemic, and then his email comes out showing he was even a bigger liar. Right? Now, here we are. Right, Tony V, exactly. That's the other thing about the Delta Plus, right? They say it's more contagious. It's more contagious than the Indian variant, and the India variant plus is more contagious than the Indian variant. I'm like, what? You're saying the same, but if it's more contagious, it's fine. We're worried about it being deadlier, but they're not saying deadlier. Rich Mountains, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. And now you're gonna have assholes. Thank you for that. You're gonna have assholes running around with a triple mask on because of this shit. You're gonna have people fucking more scared because of this shit. Because it's a distraction, guys. That's all it is. I'm not. Someone just asked, who cares? Asked, what about the Cyber Polygon? I'm not worried about the Cyber Polygon, guys. I just did a video today in the heat on the roof. It was so fucking hot up there. My camera shut down. That's how hot it was. But anyway, I'm not worried about the Cyber Polygon. Though a cyber attack, the grand cyber attack, could happen, the Cyber Polygon I am not worried about. Hackers, guys, do not announce when they're going to attack your system. Hackers, as a religion, if you will, as a religion, it's all a surprise. So you mean to tell me that the Cyber Polygon company, Byzone, right? You're going to tell me that they're announcing this attack? No, it doesn't work that way. They're not going to sit there and be like, all right, July 9th, we're going to do an attack on a supply chain as a drill. It don't work that way. I'm 1,000% sure, guys, nothing's going to happen July 9th. All right? It's going to be a test run. Now, is July 9th, can July 9th, be a precursor for something else? Yes. Do I think something's going to happen July 9th? No. Don't work that way. Here's the other thing, guys. How many end of the world days, or how many days of disasters have we been told were going to happen and they haven't happened? Right? And so now what? Right? And then we all, oh my God, 2012 is coming. The Mayans said so. And meanwhile, it was just a solar cycle of the sun. That's all it was. And everybody started fucking panicking and writing this Aztec priest guy. He was like, nothing's going to happen, man. It's just like, he explained it really simply. It was like, and everybody's getting all scared and shit. There was this one asshole saying he was going to jump off a cliff because at this point, right here, there was going to open up a portal. And when I jump off, I'm going to fly through the portal. So, I had to Google this guy. This is a few years later that I had to Google him. Because I'm like, I wonder if this asshole really jumped off a cliff. Well, he didn't jump off a cliff. His friends talked him right out of it. So, good for him. I would have been interested to see his ass go splat in the fucking rock. But, whatever. Again, guys, idiots of the world, right? Y2K, thank you, JJ Biggs. Y2K was another one that scared the shit out of people, including myself. That's when I started prepping in 2000, or rather 99, right? Like, for that event. And I went fucking bonkers. I fucking had probably 2 months worth of food and water inside of like 2 weeks. My ex-wife at the time was like, holy shit. And it was Y2K. But what happened with the Y2K? Nothing. Guys, things that are going to happen are not going to be announced. It's going to be a surprise. You are going to be surprised by the cyber attack. You're not going to wake up and go, all right, man, cyber attack's on. You're not going to do that. Right? So with that, you're going to be surprised. Whether your surprise lasts 30 seconds to 6 minutes, you're going to be surprised. But the cyber polygon is not what I'm worried about, and I don't think you guys should be worried about. And if I'm wrong, you guys could motherfuck me till you're blue in the face, and then you can unsubscribe. If I'm wrong. But I'm 1,000% sure I'm not. Alright, guys? So, with that, right, and the Y2K, guys, when you think about it, you start laughing. You're like, what the fuck, man? Like, I really fucking went out of my way to get ready for that stupid shit. People panicking, what you call it? Computer tech guys are like, yo, we don't figure this problem out. We're going to have meltdowns all over the place. They were fucking, I was like, and I'm like, oh shit, really? Because I don't know anything about computers. And I'm like, holy shit, really? They're like, yeah, man, it's going to be fucking bad. I'm like, oh shit. And then I go and get, I start preparing. And then what happened? Nothing. Wasn't no glow in the sky. None of the fucking, meltdown. Nuclear rockets didn't just take off on their own. Like nothing happened. So again, how many end of the world dates have we had in our lifetime? I'm not talking about the human race. I think the human race, there's been, I want to say 20 something or maybe more end of the world dates. But in our lifetime, there had to have been like 4 or 5 already, maybe 6, right? And then there was that preacher who stood on 42nd Street. Remember, he was like the doomsday dude. He was like on, I forgot what day it was. He was like, it's gonna happen, and the Lord's gonna come and grab us, and we're gonna watch this. Everyone's going to watch this live at 42nd Street. And these fucking assholes go to 42nd Street and they're sitting there and they're counting the clock down, and then it hits the time that they want it. And then they're like, oh man. Oh shit. Guess I'm going to have to recalculate this. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And listen, no one believed that kook's bullshit, but he was another one. He had a large following too. He had a lot of guys follow him. He had a lot of people sitting on 42nd Street with him thinking the rapture was coming. I think that's what it was. And it didn't happen. Guys, when it happens, you will not know. I'm 1,000% sure, even if you're a Bible thumper, you are not going to know when it happens. Whether you believe in the rapture, whether you believe in the media is going to smash into us, or the fucking next tsunami is going to wipe us out, we are not going to know that date. It's impossible. And if you know that date, then you're probably Jesus himself. Right? And pretty much that's how it's gonna roll. Brian Keat Prepper. Yeah, the whole Narubu thing. I have a conspiracy theory on that. I do have a conspiracy theory on that. I'm if I can remember it by the end of this show, I'll do the video on it because I think it's pretty interesting with the Narubu. But yeah, I don't know anything. I know that they said there's another planet that's big that orbits us. What's going on, Hudson Valley? There's a planet that's big that orbits us, but hasn't been seen in like 6,000 years or something like that. Is it out there? Who knows? We're not gonna know. I know that they said that planet is big, and they think if it is this planet, the Narubu, Planet X, or whatever you want to call it, it's large amount of iron ferrite, and they saw an iron ferrite dust trail in the sky when they were able to trace stardust. When we had the capability of tracing stardust, they saw this dust traced in the air. But who knows? All-seeing cat. I guess. I mean, you're the best for not putting dates. Yeah, you can't put dates. You can't put dates on any of it, man. It's again, we don't know. We're going to wake up one day and the apocalypse is going to be here. Right? We could be in a slow decline to the apocalypse. We could be. I'm not saying we are. So for those of you that are listening, like, you see he's fear-mongering, you see what he's doing? No, I'm not. I'm just saying we could be headed into the apocalypse. And if we are, it's a slow fucking whoop down the fucking, drain there. But again, guys, sitting here and fucking worried about some shit that's not going to happen does you no good. It's a distraction. So to get from that distraction, you have to focus on what you need to do, and that's prep. And as long as you prep, you'll be fine. No matter what comes at you, man, you'll be able to kung fu the shit out of it. You'll be like, paka, paka, like you got it. But if you're not ready and the shit hits, then I don't know what to tell you. You got to be ready. Some of you guys have to get off your ass and go food shopping. Some of you could get the freeze-dried foods that I sell, and I'm starting to push it a little more, just because I'm starting to. First of all, they have better sales coming up. That's one. Two, I think we should be getting freeze-dried food, canned goods. If you cannot afford freeze-dried goods, canned goods. If all you have, guys, is money for the Piggly Wigglies, guess the fuck what? That's what you're buying. The freeze-dried foods, the stuff that I sell, that's if you can afford it. It's not for everyone. So when people are sitting there selling their freeze-dried foods, they're selling it to people who can afford it. They're not trying to fearmonger you into buying it. If you can't afford it, guys, you can't afford it. You know. But if you can afford freeze-dried food, get it. If you can afford the really expensive shit, man, I wish I had it laying around here. But there's a really expensive one. It's like $12 a bag, and I'm talking about a two-person serving bag. But it's the premium shit. If you can afford that, absolutely start buying that. Peak Refuel. That's the name of it. Peak Refuel. That's a very expensive freeze-dried food, but they are premium freeze-dried food. The food I sell, one of Nutrient Survival. The link is in the comment section, the description section below, guys. Nutrient Survival has the nutrients you're going to need in a stressful time, and they are releasing more products. So it's something that you should definitely look at when it comes to Nutrient Survival. Brad Jones, thank you for the donation. Right, you should definitely look in the freeze-dried food, guys. But if you cannot afford it, get canned goods. If you're getting canned goods, also keep in mind what you're buying and try to stay away from the bullshit, right? Try to buy the good shit. If you can't afford that, guys, then can your food. Canning your food is a lot cheaper. Once you get what you need for canning your food is cheaper than actually buying canned goods, even though the price of meat is going up. But you can deal with gathering, and you can get food a lot faster canning it than you can buying canned goods. I mean, if you buy beans and shit like that, and it's like $5 for $2, you win. But canning your own shit's another way, guys. Learn how to can your own shit. Freeze-dried Spam. I'm pretty sure if they made freeze-dried Spam, I would take a fucking M80 to it and blow it up. That's a different subject altogether. But, guys, canned goods. I say this all the time. Get your canned goods. Start learning how to can. Look at freeze-dried food companies. Look at them. You don't have to buy them, but just look. See what you like. Sample some of the shit. Some of the sites are starting to do samples. Who was it? I know Nutrient Survival was talking about it, but I don't think they've done it yet. My Patriot Food Supply, the all-seeing cat, man, thank you. My Patriot Food Supply, they don't do samples, but their food is really good. And here's the thing with My Patriot Food Supply, guys. My Patriot Food Supply, you can add meat to it. So if you're a hunter, you can add rabbit meat, deer meat to it, right? Bison meat, whatever you're hunting. It makes the meal that much more better. There are freeze-dried food companies, guys, that are good. Some are better than others. Peak Refuel is, I think, the best on the market, but they are also the most expensive, right? I'm talking about really expensive. Then you got people who said they buy Mountain House, and this one that I was always looking to try, Augustin Farms. Someone said Augustin Farms has pretty good deals as well. You can look into them as well, right? So, guys, I'm giving you guys options, okay? Yes, I'm obviously going to push the two freeze-dried companies that I sell, My Patriot Food Supply and Nutrient Survival. And there's a link in the description section below for my accounts, if you will, with those two companies. That's why I pushed them. As far as Augustin Farm, Mountain House, and Peak Refuel, look into them too if you can. All right, guys, I'm not going to sit here and just sell you what I'm working with. I'm going to try to push anything I can that's going to make your life easier, right? Mickey McMurphy, nice one, by the way, nice name. Yeah, bison meat. Listen, they don't sell it here. I don't see it here in the city. But when I go camping in, not Monroe, sorry, not camping. When I do the emergency preparedness retreat in Blairstown, New Jersey, sorry, the supermarket I go to, they have bison meat out there. So I usually buy like whatever they have. If they have 6 or 8, I buy all 6 and 8, and then I freeze it, right? So you guys should definitely look into that as well. Bison meat. Bison meat's pretty good, and it's really healthy. And a lot of the companies that sell it, it's organic, if you will, because they don't have all that fucking shit pumped into it. Brad Jones, thank you for the donation. All right, guys. So, listen, we're definitely headed towards something. Something is going to happen, or something is happening. And a lot of the things that are happening, I think we're being distracted from. We need to be focused. Hudson Valley, man, if you can get me bison meat, that'd be great. I love that shit, man. Oh, that is some good shit right there. Very good shit. Lean, has the right amount of fat in it, good shit. Neighbor Bob, ground beef and ground turkey are two totally different things. Which is better health-wise would be ground turkey. But if you're looking for some fat in your diet, ground beef. It all depends on what your diet is. If you don't give a fuck, and listen, if you're starving, fuck it. Then you're gonna eat both just the same. Chris A, I don't know anything about what's going on in DC. I know somebody earlier mentioned that they had the bird problem in DC as well. We're going to get into that in a little bit. This live stream went by really fucking fast tonight. I mean, super. You know, listen, it went faster than Washington Square Park last night. And I thought I was going to fucking hang myself by the end of that night. So, and I don't want to do that again. I was just showing you guys what the shit show looked like. I am not doing that bullshit again. I don't give a fuck who's hanging out there. I don't give a fuck if the Irish is hanging out there getting drunk. I'm not going to that bullshit again. That was a fucking horrible night. So, let's talk about these fucking birds dying. And the reason why I'm looking down, I have an iPad that I was going to use for my notes, but instead I'm using my phone. So, excusez-moi for using my phone. All right. So, guys, we have another bird die-off, and this bird die-off is catching the science community attention because they don't know why these birds are dying. And the birds are dying, and it's going across species of birds. So it's not just a group like, starlings or blue jays or cardinals. It's across the whole gamut of birds in the eastern half of the United States, right? So the eastern half of the United States that's being affected right now is D.C., Virginia, Maryland, Kentucky, Ohio, and Indiana. Those are the places that are seeing the birds die off. And right, okay, all seeing cat. Yeah, a lot of people keep saying it could be 5Gs, but a lot of those places, first of all, we have 5Gs here in New York, and we're not seeing that. There's 5Gs in Jersey, there's 5Gs in PA and Connecticut. They're not seeing it. There's 5Gs in Vermont, not Vermont, sorry. I think Mass, right? They're not seeing it. They're only seeing it in these states. Someone also said that it could be the birds are eating the cicadas because the cicadas were sprayed with pesticides to keep them down, so that we didn't have like the pestilence, right? We didn't have a fucking swarm of them eating everything. So they sprayed the regions, certain regions or certain states, with pesticides, and the birds ate them and they think they died. But a lot of states didn't have the cicadas. Fuck it. The what you call the locusts. They didn't have those, right? And they didn't spray them or sprayed them. So you had states that didn't have the cicadas, and you have states that didn't spray. And these birds are still dying. They didn't specify which state did what, but nonetheless, they're still dying. So that theory went out the window. Now, again, guys, because it's along the species, and the signs and symptoms of these birds dying off are swollen eyes, crust in the eyes, and seizures. Now, right, 5Gs, some people would say that's what the seizures are causing them. But the crust in the eye, you know, that's a different story altogether. So they don't know what that is. And they tested 20 samples from these birds. So whatever birds they collected, they had 20 samples each. And they also tested them for West Nile and avian flu. And they came back negative. It's a video I'm releasing tomorrow about the bird die-off. So hopefully you guys will see that premiere tomorrow morning. But now the science community is like, what the fuck? We don't have any fucking results. It's going across a few species now. Why is this happening? New Mexico had a big incident with these. They think that 100,000 birds died, or over 100,000 birds died in New Mexico, but then it stopped. Then the birds just stopped dying. So what does that mean, right? That's a sign, that's a red flag in itself, that you had these birds die and then it stopped. So I have seen some birds just dead in the street. I chalked it up to nothing, but then I read this article. I'm like, it could be. Now, Autumn Backyard Gardens, she did a video on this. This is why I was talking about it, because she brought it to my attention, if you will. And she did a video on it, so you should head over to her channel, by the way, and check out that video. She talks about it. Someone just said something really interesting. Come on. What do chemicals do to your eyes? Yep. Irritation and crust. Yeah, Bald Dad, you're right, if it was sprayed into their eyes. But if they ate these, I'm sorry, not Bald Dad, Robin Hastings, it would be such if it was sprayed into their eyes. But you can't eat something and then have that adverse reaction on your eyes. It doesn't work that way. If they were puking blood, right, or some kind of bile out of their mouths when they found them, or it would be blood out of their mouths, then you could say, all right, the cicadas did that because it was sprayed with the pesticides. But it's, again, seizures and crusting of the eyes and or swollen eyes. That's something different. And again, if they're having seizures, it's something with the brain. What is it? Right now, again, some of you are going to say 5Gs. Some of you are going to say the cicadas were sprayed. And I'm just telling you right now, there are states that are having this problem with the birds, and they didn't have cicadas, and or they didn't spray for the cicadas there. So then, what is it? Someone's saying sound waves. That could be it. That might make sense if they were testing it. But were they testing it in all these states? Right? So, again, you got to keep that in mind. What kind of sound waves that would have affected more birds? Not in all these states. Or maybe it was Hillary Clinton. Who knows, guys? The bitch is so ugly anyway. I'm pretty sure if someone saw her, a bird saw her face, they'd fucking heel over and die. Who knows? Could be chemtrails. Dina Walters. That's always another idea. Listen, guys, these are all ideas. We can't assign any of these problems to these issues, right? So we can't say it was the cicadas. We can't say it's 5Gs. We could speculate that it is, but we can't sit there and assign these things to it because we don't know. We want to be right, or we want to leave it open for someone to tell us, well, this is what it is, right? Someone says something interesting. We lost our bats. Yeah, Erica Ramos. Yeah, but there are bats in my neighborhood. There's a ton of fucking bats here in Harlem, believe it or not. This is like the last place on planet you would think there were bats. There are a lot of bats here. So, I mean, we didn't lose all our bats, but yeah, a lot of the bats are dying. They were dying off from a fungal infection, though, right? And I'm pretty sure they figured out that fungal infection. But the birds, it's another animal altogether, if you will, All right, guys, so birds are dying. So we got a fucking heat wave and something called a heat dome forming, and now we have droughts. Welcome to the summer of 2021. It can only get fucking better from here. And when I mean better, I'm talking about alien attacks and fucking power outages. I'm kidding about the alien attacks. There was something interesting about the alien attacks I just learned because of the Kryptonian. I'm going to do a video on that, but I got to do more research on it before I do the video. But it's pretty fucking interesting with the whole UFO shit. All I'm going to tell you guys is, for those of you that are looking to see what's going to happen next, look at the book Behold the Pale White Horse, or the Pale Horse. Behold the Pale Horse. Brad Jones, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. Heat dome. Regina Johnson. The heat dome is it's a dome, not doom, dome, right? So it's where the heat is concentrating right now in the United States, in the Northwest, the Pacific Northwest to be exact. And this is where the heat in the central spot in that area is starting to climb to a higher temperature than they ever seen in their entire lives, right? So that's what the heat dome is. I'm pretty sure you can research it and it'll pop up. It'll pop up on your feed. So it's something to, again, look at, right? All right, guys. We are at the 1 hour mark. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. That is the most thumbs up I have in a live stream. And this is possibly, I reached the highest views I had on a live stream in a while. So you guys are awesome for helping out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. Also, guys, by the way, I have to thank a lot of you, because I'm not sure who it is, but I hear it all the time. Oh, Heartland Survival, man. What's going on? I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen a lot of you guys in a while. I'm subscribed to some of your channels, and I haven't seen anything, but then I go on just because I'm like, oh, how's this dude doing? You guys got fucking like 8, 9, 12 videos on it. All right? But, sorry, back to what I was talking about, guys. A lot of you guys have been doing some cool shit, like people breaking my balls, and you guys are breaking their nuts. I think there was a chick on here the other night named Susan, and you guys fucking like tore into her after I went off the air. So I always appreciate you guys for getting my back and, I guess standing up for me. Whether I'm right or wrong, you guys are always standing up for me. So I do appreciate that. So thank you for that. All right. So, guys, other than that, thank you for watching. The Angry Truths channel might have a live stream. Oh, I'm sorry. We had a live stream last night. So I won't be doing another live stream this week because I'll be packing for Wildwood. I will be doing a Friday night hangout in Wildwood, New Jersey. The Maverick Prepper. Maverick, I'm fucking... Wait, no, the Maverick Prepper. I'm not subscribed to your channel. I have to subscribe to your channel. All right? But I will be doing a Friday night hangout in Wildwood. So stay tuned for that, guys. Other than that, thank you for watching.